I learned to begin with the ordinary because people lean toward the familiar like moths to a porch light. The trick is to dim the porch until something else shows its glow. The reading room smelled of boiled coffee and old paper, but the windows, an absence of wind, a pane refracting the street lamp into a thin, wrong line, made the air feel slightly less trustworthy. It was the kind of wrong that teaches your elbows to listen. I coaxed them with anecdotes, small, cold facts about noises at the edges of sleep, and watched faces go expectant, like a small animal frozen at the scent of a predator. Then I let silence sit between us long enough to be heard. Someone tapped their phone and the light bent oddly, not in reflection but in angle, as if the light itself were shy. Later, when I left, the doorknob hummed at a pitch I could almost map to a chord in a dream I'd had years before, one with geometry that never obeyed Euclid. Signs in these rooms are patient. A neighbor's gnat refuses the splash of a lamp. Shadows hold their breath just at the periphery. A clock's minute hand trails by a fraction of a heartbeat until you catch yourself counting 1,000, 1,000 to force it back into order. I began to notice, not because I sought spectacle, but because my listeners did, as if the collective imagination had become a set of tuning forks. The more I pulled the thread, the less certain I became which of us conducted whom. My sleep unraveled in polite stages. Dreams first rearranged my childhood, then the room where I told them. Audience faces swam in glass until their eyes refracted into maps, and I could no longer tell whether I remembered their names or their names remembered themselves when I thought them. Paranoia moved in like damp. Logic frayed until numbers tilted and calendars showed extra days that smelled faintly of ozone. I would stand at lectures and feel the floor think about me. One night, a low, wide hum threaded the hall like a plumb line. Overhead lights unzipped into a slow arrangement of angles, and a sound, note by note, suggested a vocabulary not meant for larynxes but for cavities of planet and bone. The geometry of the hum outlined a presence. Edges that were protocols voiced the translation of being into arithmetic. It did not enter so much as propose itself, gently, like a theorem. I learned then that spectatorship can be translational work. In witnessing, you may become the interpreter for entities that do not care to be interpreted. The audience smiled with an earnest, sleepy unanimity, relieved to have been assigned meaning. They left lighter, or less solid. I couldn't tell which. Later, in the dark, the window mapped my heart to a pattern I recognized from a children's rhyme I'd never learned, and the pattern folded me into a footnote of a calculation I had not written. The house rearranged my verbs and asked me to close with a period. The period blinked and did not answer.